Hello everyone. Today we will understand the Supreme Court. The judiciary. Under our constitution, the judiciary is a single integrated system of courts for the union and state, with the Supreme Court at the apex. So what it indicate? That in our country there is a single integrated system of the court and Supreme Court is at its top. By the single integrated system we mean the Supreme Court is the head of entire system and not only supervises but also exercises control over the functioning of other court. So integrated system, what it indicate, that the entire judiciary system, or we can say that the entire court or all the courts in India, they come under Supreme Court. Supreme Court is head of all the courts in India and it not only supervise means it not only check that how these courts are working but also exercise control over the functioning, but it also controls how they are working. There are no separate sets of laws and single civil and criminal system operates throughout the country. So there is no separate set of laws. It is not like that ki if I do one crime in UP, I will get other punishment, and if I do the same crime say in Maharashtra, I will get the other punishment. It is not like that. In entire country there is same set of laws which is applicable. Third, all cases coming from lower court can be taken to the higher court and ultimately to the Supreme Court by way of appeal. So suppose there is a dispute between you and me. So first where we go? We go to the court which is in our locality. Okay, so suppose we gone there, we fight our case and suppose judge has given some judgment. Now if I feel that that judgment is not correct, then what I can do? I can appeal in high court. Okay, in our state, in your state where you live, there is a high court for the entire state. You can apply there. You can appeal there, not apply. You can appeal there. Okay, that means you can put your case again in the high court. Then high court will listen your case and he will give the judgment. If again you are not satisfied or the opposite party not satisfied, then they can go, they can appeal the same case in the Supreme Court. So it is like that, ki from lower court you can go up to Supreme Court. So this is how we say that this judiciary system is a single integrated system. Below the Supreme Court stands the High Court of different states, and under each High Court there is a hierarchy of other subordinate courts. So at top you have Supreme Court, then under that different high courts of different states they come, and under each high court there is again small courts that we called subordinate courts. Now let us understand the need for a single integrated judiciary. Why we need single integrated judiciary? India has opted for single integrated judicial setup unlike the double judicial setup in the USA. This is because of the following reason. First point is, in the representative democracy, administration of justice assumes a special significance in view of the rights of individuals which need protection against executive or legislative interference. This protection is given by making the judicial or judiciary independent of the other two organs of the government. So two organs of the government, we have central and state government. So to give, what we can say, that to give a special protection, okay, what is said, that in a representative democracy, administration of justice assumes a special significance, means there should be correct justification with each and every one. So rights of individuals should be protected equally throughout the country, and therefore there is a need for single integrated judiciary. Second, an independent and supreme judiciary is also an essential requirement of a federal governance. In a federal setup, there is constitutional division of powers between the executive, legislature and judiciary. So ours is a federal system, and here our constitution has given powers, some powers it has given to executives, some power to legislature and some power to judiciary. An independent and impartial judiciary is an essential requisite for ensuring human rights and protecting the democracy. So to protect human right and democracy, it is very much needed that there should be a single judiciary system, or we can say that independent and impartial judiciary system is there. So therefore we have a single judiciary system or single integrated judiciary. Now let us understand Supreme Court, its composition. The Supreme Court of India consists of a Chief Justice of India and not more than 30 other judges, until Parliament by law prescribes a larger number of judges. So until Parliament says that there is more number of judges required, till then in Supreme Court there will be one Chief Justice of India and there will be 30 other judges. So this is the composition of Supreme Court. And here we can see that in single integrated judiciary system, at the top we have Supreme Court, then under Supreme Court we have a large number of high courts, and under high courts we have large number of subordinate courts. Now let us see the qualification for appointment as a judge of Supreme Court. Now who can be a judge of Supreme Court? So for that, what qualifications are needed? A person is not qualified for appointment as a judge of Supreme Court unless he is a citizen of India. So the first requirement is that he should be a citizen of India. A person who is not a citizen of India cannot be made as a judge of Supreme Court. Along with this, has been for at least 5 years a judge of High Court or of 2 or more such courts in succession. So the other requirement is that, other requirement means here we have few options. So out of this, he should be a judge of High Court for 5 years or in succession for different states. Like for Maharashtra, he was judge of High Court for say 2 years, and then in Punjab he is judge for another 3 years. So this makes 5 years. So he must be a judge of judge of High Court for 5 years, or has been for at least 10 years an advocate of a High Court or of 2 or more such courts in succession. So again, either he was a judge for any of the states in High Court, or he was an advocate, and he was an advocate for 10 years in a High Court, either in one High Court or in succession. Like for 3 years he was advocate in one state, then for another 5 years he was advocate of High Court only in other state, and so on, and he completed continuous 10 years. So he can be considered for the post of judge in Supreme Court, or is, in the opinion of President, a distinguished jurist, or presidents think that this judge is perfect for Supreme Court. So the first condition is that he must be a citizen of India, and the second condition we have in option that either he is working for 5 years as a judge of High Court, or he is working as a advocate for 10 years in different High Courts, or in the opinion of President he is a very good judge. Then we can appoint a person as a judge for Supreme Court. Now let us discuss how the judges of Supreme Courts are appointed. Every judge of the Supreme Court is appointed by the President of India in consultation with the judges of Supreme Court and High Courts, besides the Council of Ministers. So, appointment of judges is done by President of India, and he consults other judges of the Supreme Court and Council of Minister before appointing judges of the Supreme Court. So, in consultation with Council of Ministers and other judges of Supreme Court, President decides whom to appoint. In case of appointment of judges other than Chief Justice, the Chief Justice of India shall be consulted. Now, if President has to appoint other judges, we know that in Supreme Court there is one Chief Justice and there are 30 other judges. So, if there is an appointment of other judges, then President also consults with the Chief Justice of India. Consultation would generally mean concurrence. So, concurrence means here the opinion of the Constitution, the opinion of the Council of Ministers, we can say that, opinion of other judges, opinion of Chief Justice of India, they all should give the same name, and then that name President suggests as a judge. In case of the Chief Justice, usually senior most judge of the Supreme Court is appointed. So, now the senior most judge in the Supreme Court is appointed as Chief Justice. When the Chief Justice is unable to perform the duties of his office by reasons of absence or otherwise, the President may appoint another judge of the Supreme Court as the acting Chief Justice. So, sometime it may happen that the person who is appointed as a Chief Justice, he is not performing his duties, either because he is absent because of some reason or any other reason. So, in that case, President can remove that judge and appoint another judge as the Chief Justice. Appointment of ad hoc judges. The Chief Justice may appoint a judge of a High Court as an ad hoc judge of the Supreme Court. So, if necessary, the Chief Justice may appoint a judge of a High Court as a ad hoc judge of the Supreme Court for a period as may be necessary. So, for whatever period it is required to appoint a judge, the Chief Justice of India can appoint an ad hoc judge for Supreme Court. Such appointments are made with the consent of President and after consultation with the Chief Justice of the High Court concerned. So, now this appointment is made by the Chief Justice in consultation with the President and also in consultation with the Chief Justice of the particular High Court, okay, for which or from which the Chief Justice is making an ad hoc judge. The Chief Justice may at any time, with the previous consent of the President, request attendance of retired judges of the Supreme Court or the High Court to act as judge of the Supreme Court. The Chief Justice can also ask the retired judges either of Supreme Court or High Court to act as an ad hoc judge. So, this is related with the appointment of ad hoc judges. Now, let us discuss term of office. A judge of Supreme Court shall hold office until he attain the age of 65 years. So, till 65 years, a person who is appointed as the judge of Supreme Court, he can hold his position. A judge may resign his office by submitting his resignation letter to the President. So, once you become the judge of a Supreme Court, then you can work as judge of Supreme Court till you attain a age of 65 years. Now, before that also you can resign. Okay, if there is any need for you to not work as a judge, then in that case you can resign from the post of judge. So, you have to give resignation to President. Now, a judge of the Supreme Court cannot be removed from the office except by an order of the President on the ground of proved misbehavior or incapacity. Now, it may happen na, ki that a person is appointed as a judge of Supreme Court, but he is not doing the correct work, he is not doing the proper job. So in that case he can be removed, okay, but he can be removed only by the President of India, and on the ground that misbehavior and incapacity, that is he is misbehaving, his behavior is not correct and he is not doing the correct work. Such an order is passed after an address by each House of Parliament supported by a majority of total membership of that House and by a majority of not less than 2/3 of the member of the House present and voting for such removal. So how President can remove a judge from his post? It is not like that ki President think that ki he is misbehaving, so remove him. Okay, for that he has to pass an order from both the houses. So when both the houses are in majority, and in majority, that is more than 2/3 of the members, they vote against the judge. They vote against the judge means they also feel that the judge is not working properly, he is misbehaving or his conduct is not good. Then if more than 2/3 of the members are supporting and voting for such a removal, then President can pass an order to remove the judge. And this procedure is called impeachment. So impeachment means what? The procedure of removing the judge of Supreme Court. Here impeachment means the process of removal of judge of a Supreme Court, and the procedure is what? That more than 2/3 of both the houses, they should vote against the judge, okay, for means to whom President want to remove. So the term of office is clear that if you become a judge of Supreme Court, then for 65 years you can hold your position, but before that you can resign or President can remove you from your position. Now let us discuss a case. In May 1993, a motion of impeach a judge of the Supreme Court, his name was Justice V. Ramaswamy, failed to get the support of majority of the total membership of the House. So for him the procedure was started in the Lok Sabha, but their President did not get 2/3 of the majority. That was the first ever move in the history of India to impeach a judge of the Supreme Court. So this is the procedure of impeachment done in 1993, but there was no majority, so President cannot remove that particular judge, that is here V. Ramaswamy, from his post. Seat of Supreme Court. The Supreme Court shall sit in Delhi or in any other place as the Chief Justice may decide with the approval of President. So where this judges or Chief Justice sit, so he will sit either in Delhi, the Supreme Court shall sit in Delhi or in any other place. So it is not necessary that Delhi is our capital, so Supreme Court will sit in Delhi only. Okay, the seat of Supreme Court could be in Delhi or in any other place if a President approves. So this is seats of Supreme Court. So let us summarize what we learned today. We understand about judiciary in India. We understand that our judiciary is a single integrated judiciary. So what is this single integrated judiciary system and why it is needed? That also we have seen. We understand that Supreme Court is the apex court, that is it is the head of all courts. We understand its composition, that is it is composed of one Chief Justice of India and there are 30 other judges, and if Parliament decides, then there could be more judges also. We understand the qualification to appoint as a judge of Supreme Court. We understand the procedure of appointment. We also understand the appointment of ad hoc judges. And finally, we understand the term of office, that if you become a judge of Supreme Court, then till you attain a age of 65, you can work as a judge of Supreme Court. But before that, you can resign, or there is a procedure called impeachment, and with the help of impeachment, you can be removed from your post. And we also seen the seat of Supreme Court, that is Supreme Court, generally the Chief Justice, he sits in Delhi, or with the permission of President he could sit in any other state, right? So this is for now. In the next class we will understand independence of judiciary from the control of executive and legislatures. Thank you.